Why don't we start this week with Donald Trump, expected to arrive in New York City later today. This is ahead of the first ever arraignment of a former president. In a series of late-night posts on social media yesterday, Trump announced plans to leave Florida for his old home of Manhattan at noon today. He will then spend the night at Trump Tower before reportedly surrendering to law enforcement ahead of his first court appearance tomorrow afternoon. Although all of these plans are subject to change, officials familiar with the matter tell NBC News that Trump will not be handcuffed, put in a holding cell, or have his mugshot taken.
I'll bet he's going to be disappointed with that.
As of now, the plan is for the former president to be fingerprinted before hearing his charges and then leaving the courthouse on his own free will. Trump will then head back to Florida, where he has announced plans to speak publicly about the case tomorrow night. Sources say the former president faces about 30 criminal charges related to document fraud connected to a payment he allegedly made to porn star Stormy Daniels in 2016 to keep her silent about a sexual encounter she claims they had years before. Now, Trump has repeatedly denied the liaison or ordering the payment, although some of his posts over the past years and months have not completely denied it.
Yeah, not completely. And Andrew, I'm getting more and more impatient with people who are talking with great confidence about how strong this case is or how weak this case is. We have no idea. We have no idea how strong or weak this case is because the indictment's still sealed. We won't know until tomorrow, right?
You know, I hate to be disappointing, but we may not even know then. We'll certainly have a better idea about legal theories. And because I think everyone's anticipating that it's a so-called speaking indictment, that it's not just bare bones, that it lays out a number of allegations, we may have a clue as to some of the evidence. But the DA's office typically, doesn't put in an indictment all of their evidence, what all of the witnesses have to say, what all of the documents are. So we'll have a better sense of the legal theory of the DA. We may have a sense of some additional evidence, but we really won't know all of the evidence. And there are reports of substantial new documentary evidence, but we really won't know that for sure. So you're absolutely right. The people who are saying it's strong, or the various Republicans who are attacking it as a witch hunt and weak, don't know. So it's way too premature. And that obviously is the government's burden, is going to be a trial to amass that evidence.